Okay, I'm here at the presentations.
My name is Robert Nevin Salvador. I am just emceeing the event. I'm here to learn as much as you are. So this is a great event for those who are curious that may be thinking about perhaps making the journey to the U.S., right? To start a business or to live there for various reasons, for education or to get a green card and to live there permanently or start a business, etc. Right? So this evening is meant for you. The pathways to the U.S. is a way for you to get information. Right? Tonight is all about getting information, and then there will be opportunities to ask questions of those that are experienced in doing this for others and have been doing it for a number of years. So I suggest, recommend that you make lots of notes and write down your questions. If you have any questions, when we have a Q&A, you can certainly ask those questions. So that's how it's going to go. So we're going to have 3 different presentations. We'll have a Q&A session, and then we'll have a time for refreshments, etc. Right? So, and before we get started, just so you know, there's everyone find the bathrooms and the exits on the way in. Make sure that you know where they are. I know there's bathrooms going that way. There's also ones going out that way. Exit doors there and there as well. Those are important before we start. So, the company that we're here to hear from is called Franex Global, which is, as you can see, people that are joining us are joining from Sri Lanka and perhaps even other places. Welcome to those that are joining us from Sri Lanka. This is a global enterprise. And this was founded in 2009 by Raj Anthony Pillai. He's an experienced businessman in the U.S. and he started with various business adventures and has many companies which he'll talk about today as well. And he is settled in the U.S., in Connecticut, and he's going to have some of these people speak to the various components of the business opportunities that are available. So initially, the first presentation that we're going to have is by Dinesh. Dinesh Naganathan is going to give you a deeper understanding of the various products and services and the pathways offered by Franex Global. So, and he's the head of the operations for Franex Global, and like I said, he's going to do this presentation from Sri Lanka, again, speaking to the fact that this is a global enterprise. So, Dinesh, if you're ready, we'll hand things over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rob. Thank you, Rob, for the wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone, for people who are joining from North America, and then good morning for the people who are joining from South Asia. Right, I'm Dinesh Naganathan. I'm the head of operations for Franex Global. Currently, I'm joining from Sri Lanka. So here, I'm going to talk about the few pathways what we have for United States of America and different countries. So hope you can see my screen very clearly. So these are the few options right now that we have for USA: E2 visa, EB5 visa, EB3 visa, a senior care, and French tax option. So I'm going to go through, very deep about each option, what we have for USA, and later that you all can ask if you all have any questions at the end of the session. We are happy to answer your questions as well. Right now, let's talk about E2 investor visa. So what is E2 investor visa? It's basically US government has a treaty agreement with 82 countries. So Canada, Sri Lanka, and then few other countries are one of them. So whoever the citizens from that treaty countries, they will be able to invest in any business in USA, and they can move to USA with their family. So here are the few countries, as I mentioned earlier, the 82 countries. The first country was United Kingdom, added in 1815 by USA, and the latest on the list is Israel, was added in 2019. So how the E2 works, right? So the key qualifications for E2 is very simple. As long as you are a citizen of a treaty country, then you are eligible for an investor visa. And the criteria is you have to do an investment of 100,000 if you are an individual client. And the beauty of E2 is that you can partner, two partners can come with their family, but they have to invest $75,000 each, a total of 150,000. So because the two family needs to come to US and then they need to survive, so this way the investment amount is more than $100,000, and then it comes to 150,000. So the client will be the active in the business operation. That is one of the mandatory, requirements by the E2, and the documents need to be supported as a source of fund, because the US government keen on monitoring whether it is black money or drug money or terrorist money. So they don't want those kind of money coming into the country. And the E2 timeline is going to be 6 to 9 months that we will be able to complete the entire process, as long as there is no any delay from the client side or the franchise side or the government side, which is beyond our control. Right, now let's talk about what are the benefits that we have when we come on an E2. So if you are an E2 main applicant, that you can bring your family, your spouse, and your kids below 21 years old. Now, you will be, if you are a main applicant, you will be actively involving in the business, and your spouse can work full time anywhere, any part of the United States, and they will be getting a full open work permit. And the kids, they can go to public school free of charge, and when they are coming to university level or college level, they will be treated as a local student, and they will pay the in-state tuition fee. So that means whatever the states that they are residing, so they will be paying that particular state fee. So normally, a foreign student comes in universities in USA, they pay 3 to 4 times more than the local student. But here, in this case, if someone is coming on E2 or E3 or EB5 visa, their kids will be treated as a local student, and then they will pay that particular state fee as the college or university fee. So that's a huge saving actually, right? And the visa can be renewable, right? As long as the business is active, they will be able to renew the visa. So those are the key benefits right now when it comes to E2 visa program. Now, when I'm saying that we can invest in any business, so Franex Global is an authorized franchise consultant company. So we always recommend our clients to invest in a franchise business. There are a few reasons why we ask our clients to invest in a franchise business, right? So the franchise business works in 3 business models, right? Owner operator, so that means that the owner will be actively managing the business, involving in day-to-day operations and then making all the decisions. And the second model is executive model, where you will have a manager to run the business on behalf of you. Your involvement is right in a function. Whereas when you have an executive model, that you need to have a lot of working capital in order for you to take care of the payroll before your business is bringing any return. And the semi-absentee, it's like a passive ownership. Your involvement is very minimal, and either the franchisor or a third-party company will run the business on behalf of you, and you will be paying a percentage of your gross revenue as a fee for them to handle your business. So, to E2 clients, we always recommend the owner-operator, right, according to the visa requirements, and then to save the money, right, because you don't want to bring managers and staff to run your business and then, using your working capital to pay the payroll, rather that you can use that working capital to invest more and more in your business and run the business until you see the money coming in. So, why we recommend franchise business is franchise is a proven system, and when our clients they are moving to US, a new country like US with their families, so we want to make sure that they are getting the return in a specific period of time. Because if they go for a private business, we don't have any guarantee. But franchise, right? I'm not saying that we have a guarantee, but if they follow the system and if they have a working capital, enough money to run the business, it's a proven business model, so they will be able to see a return in a certain period of time. That is one reason. The second reason is they are using the business as a leverage to come into US as an investor visa. So they need a lot of documentation about the business. So whereas in franchise, most of your documents that you will be able to get from the franchisor, in private businesses that you are going to spend a lot of time and money to get those documents done. So these are the two key factors as why we recommend franchise business to our clients. Right. Now what is franchise? So as I mentioned earlier, right, the franchise is an established brand with a proven system. So we have 1,000+ franchises across 70 industries, and then we are looking to expand this franchise as an international expansion in Canada, right, in Sri Lanka, in Australia, in India, and few other countries as well. Now there are few types of franchises, right? I'm going to discuss right in a couple, not everything. But I will touch base on the type of the franchises, right? One is the new units, basically that you are buying a one single territory and then running a business. The second option is multi-units, that you get 2 or 3 territories and then you run the business. And the third one is a master franchise, that means you take a master franchise in a certain region or maybe a different country, and then you have the full control of other franchisees coming under you. There you have control of even the franchise fees and the royalties and it. And the fourth type is the franchise resale. This is pretty much same as a franchise new unit, but when they are running the business for a couple of years, they're making a good return, and then they think that I want to, come out of the business, I have a different passion to do, so that's the time that they will put as a franchise resale. And the fifth one is budget franchises, right? Now these are very low investment franchises that you will be able to get. And it's a very important type of a franchise development. So this is, we as a Connect Global, we are interested to do that as well. Let's say you have your own business. We will help you to convert your business into a franchise model. So which is again a proven business model, and we will help you to expand your brand, whatever the products and services that you are doing as a brand, and then we will create multiple revenue streams for you to make money, such as franchise fee, royalty, and then any other ideas that we can put and then generate those those customers. And we will create a model which can be scalable and then have a good growth right now in coming space. Right, as I mentioned earlier that we have 1,000+ franchises globally, right? But I'm glad to say in Canada, for Canadian franchise opportunities, that we have 400+ franchises under 30 different industries. So as a Canadian, then you can get into any of these franchise business. Even if you are working, then you can have a passive income, and you can start the investment low as $10,000 to $5 million, right? So we have options for 10,000, 25,000, 100,000, even more, right? So there are many options that we have. And we talk about the global franchise presence offer, that as a type of franchise. It covers the master franchise as well. So this opportunity basically, right, if you want to have a franchise in a particular country, then you take a master franchise, and then you will be having a full control of the franchisees, and you can take care of their training, how they able to build a business, right, and all those things. And the important part, that you will be having a control on what the franchise fee the franchisees are paying to the franchisor, and then you will share that as well as the royalty with the franchise. And you will have a global footprint, right, where you can expand to Europe, Asia, Australia, other territories as well. So these are the options, right, 1,000 plus under 70 industries, and the investment will range from $250,000 to $5 million, which is 250,000 to $5 million that we can do. So these are the type of a franchise that we have. Now let's talk about what is Planet investment. So now people will be able to go and get a franchise on their own. If someone thinks that I don't want to get a one franchise on my own, but I want to be a partner, I want to be a part of a franchise, yes, we have options for that as well. So the investment amount will start from $25,000 onwards, where you can manage a business and get a salary. So this is basically that we are trying to do in our home state in Connecticut, right? These options can be available, that you can invest and then become a passive owner. You can work full-time or part-time in the business, or else that you can own a business while you are working full-time anywhere else. And we will be providing a guaranteed return without the ownership, without the risk. And we have many other financial benefits, and then you can talk to one of our representatives to understand the lower investment and what are the level of opportunities that we have. So our standard ROI, which is 12%, but as a promotion up to end of Q3 of this year, that we are doing 15% as a promotion. Right. So the next, all this time that I was talking about the E2, the franchise, and what are the financial investment that you can do. These are another options that we have under the pathway of USA. So that is called as EB5. So this is basically a pathway for green cards. The investment is much higher than comparing to E2, but pretty much the same benefits as E2. So this is an excellent opportunity for the people, right, for India and China, right, because India and China is not coming under the three countries for E2. So this EB5 visa is a good option for them. So there are two ways basically that they can invest. One is $1,050,000 as an investment, where you will have a full control of your business, same as you are getting a franchise business. So the other option is that you can do with $800,000. So that is for the regional project, for government projects basically. So you will not have a control on that, because government will have a control, and then you will make a very less amount as a return. But we do have options where you can get into real estate, right, as a regional project, where you can do with 800,000. Initially you can start with 400,000, and then later that you will bring the other 400,000 for the option. So in here that you will get your entire money returned in 5 years, but until such time you will get a guaranteed 4% return per annum, right? So this is, in simple words, if I put, you're going to invest, buying a green card by investing 800,000 and then holding for 5 years, in simple words, right? So that option also that we have under EB5. And the next option that we have is EB3 visa. So this is for caregivers who wants to come to US. Same benefits, they can bring their family, right? So this is for our senior care industries that we are creating this pathway as well. So they will be able to come as a caregiver, bring their family, and they have a commitment of 1 year to work with the employer wherever they are coming in. So the beauty of EB3 is, again, after 1 year, the main applicant is free to go. They can go to any part of the country, and the spouse, from the day one, they have open work permit, they can work anywhere in US. So those options also that we are providing right now for our clients. And the other options that we have, so this is for Portugal, a D7 visa. That is again as an investor visa, but this is particularly right, that we target our clients who have a fixed income and that they can move to Portugal instead of a cold weather in Canada or USA, right? So they can stay there, they can manage their expenses as long as they have a fixed income. So D7 is primarily for 55 and above, right, with a limited income where they can go and settle, right? So this is not to go for a business or make money. So this is an option where they can skip the, freezing weather in Canada. So that's also options that we have for our clients. Great. And the senior care, that's another option that we have for USA that we will be bringing. So as a Phoenix Global franchise consulting company, that we become a franchisee of as well. So that is for prime senior placement. So we find placement for senior citizens right now who are looking for a safe and comfortable, supportive senior living community. Right, so we will be expanding this to Canada and in Sri Lanka as well, the same concept to find placement for seniors. So actually here I want to play few videos to have a good understanding about the franchises. So I have picked a few from home care, senior care and the pet care. So you can view the videos. Okay.
Next, can you turn the volume up a little bit, please? Sorry, Dinesh, we're not getting any sound on this end, so you know.
Okay, sure. Let me.
Marketing, hiring, and client relationships. With a manage-the-manager model, you'll hire and train a manager to run the daily business while you
Is it audible now?
Yes.
Franchise opportunities are available as single territory or multi-territory. Starting a one-mark franchise requires a total initial investment of approximately $140,000 for a single unit, with multi-territory opportunities requiring more, a minimum net worth of $400,000, and at least $150,000 in liquid capital.
So this is one of our franchise One Heart, and the pattern that I'm going to play from 360 painting. That is the home care franchise.
I like that not only is my franchise, it's really the freedom that I have. Both myself and my wife work for 360, being able to work from home, really being able to create your own hours. That's a level of flexibility that you're lucky to have when you're working from home. So it's back to playbook. Basically, go off the playbook, you're going to be successful. Creating service brands helps me with the software, my call center. They give you guidance on where to market to, how to market to, what to use. You can transport from national service brands all the way from marketing to running production, civic business, maintenance. Every single one of these franchisees are successful, are willing to help you out.
And the senior industries that we are promoting for our clients. And the next video is from one of our recent clients. The family has moved from Canada to San Antonio, and few words from that gentleman.
We wanted to get this business not because it's a paid market, but because we want you to know our brand. When we came to Canada 18 years back as workers, we didn't know much about the country. With time, we got our citizenship, started a successful entrepreneurial journey, and she did her side business as well.
All right, that concludes my presentation for the day. So you all can see our contact numbers, email, and the websites on the screen. So I hope you have got more information, right, with my session, and then Mr. Raj also going to talk, a few words with you all. So good luck with all your franchise opportunities that you are looking for. And thanks once again for Mr. Raj, Anthony Bullion, to give me an opportunity to come and present on behalf of Phoenix to all other clients. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. Over to you, Mr. Baba. Thank you once again.
Dinesh, thank you. Oh, that's loud. I feel, you know what, I feel like I have I already have duty calls franchise because I'm picking up after my daughter's dog every day. Maybe I need to get into the business myself. Thank you for that. Those are lots of various options. I was taking vigorous notes on the various types and do have some questions we'll get in the Q&A part of this, as I hope you have as well. So at this time, I'd like to turn things over to the person that started all of this, the mastermind behind the various businesses, Mr. Raj Anthony Pillai, who is a proud Sri Lankan who migrated to the U.S. in 1996, and he began his professional journey as a manager in a restaurant. And to prove his dedication, hard work, and the entrepreneurial spirit that he had, he went on to establish various companies, including the Wireless Shop USA back in 2000. And over the years, he has successfully diversified his business interests into several sectors, and you saw some of them being highlighted here today, including migration services, senior care, entertainment, and investment consultancy. And he's built a very strong reputation for trust and professionalism and community support. And today, the company that he started and continues to grow with his wife, who's also here today with us, Nila, should I call you by your, Nila is fine? Okay, thank you. And they stand tall as aspiring individuals pursuing their dreams, but also offering that same experience to the rest of us, right? So with that, I'd like you to please give a warm welcome to Raj Anthony Pillai, please.
Thanks, Ron, for this wonderful introduction. One thing, you were off by 10 years. I migrated in '86,
Okay.
40 years and strong. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Okay. Okay. So first and foremost, it's Toronto Saturday evening. I know all of y'all have many other places to go, right? You chose to be here, right? So that means something to me and my team. Thank you so much, for being here. Okay, I really appreciate you being here and my team. Then I also want, there are many people online who are watching this, like Dinesh said, in Sri Lanka it's 3:30, I think it's 4 o'clock now in the morning, and some other countries as well. So once again, thanks all of you who are watching online. Then my next, I want to thank Pastor David and my sister Shelina, giving the opportunity to host our first event in Toronto, right? And with a very short time, it all happened. Then, I know Rob for almost 30 years, right? So I think that's what he was talking about, the 30 years. So I've seen him, over the years for many occasions. He's the MC for almost any wedding that we come, any function, he always does an excellent job, right? And I have to say, when I asked him without any hesitation, he said yes. No questions asked. Thank you, Rob. It's because the first time we are doing so, it really made a big impact, for doing that. Then we also have the presence of attorney, Viresh Fernando here, right? I know him, Viresh, for many years. He's an immigration lawyer, based in Toronto. Feel free, if you all need any services, Canadian migration services, right? Please reach out to him, get his business card, whatever services need, I'm sure he'll be able to help. So feel free to do that. Then we also have, Chad, a business development manager, which he will talk a little bit, about, his background, and the company background. Then all the, all my team, many people helped, to put this event together. Kenneth Sinclair, my team, right? Starting from my wife, traveling with me, my moral support, and then Dinesh worked tirelessly, right? To make all these programs a success. And on top of that, whether it's Priya, Ravi, Lahiru, Dominic, there are many people from everywhere who has helped. I really mean, because we put a lot of effort, for this, without all their support in many different ways, it's not easy to put together an event like this. Even though this is the first event, I'm sure there will be a lot more in Toronto and other parts very soon. All right. So now I know Dinesh talked about 6, different programs that we have. Okay. Really speaking, we are into almost 10 industries. Okay, whether it is telecommunications, franchise consulting, migration, senior care, pet care, home care, BPO operation, entertainment, etc., right? All of these, businesses are very, very in-depth, industries, right? If I take franchise as an example, I know Dinesh went through a lot, went through a few of them, right? We have new franchise units. We have budget franchise units. We have,